Hello there, I'm Kanari. Thank you for being here, and I hope you're having a nice day. For today's topic, what do we have?
Thanks, Canary. So we actually have the Asus ROG Ally or ROG Ally here. And I will actually be returning this to Best Buy for a few reasons. Let me state the main one is I think it's not mature enough. So I already know coming in that this is basically a Windows handheld machine. And as such, I expect the drivers to be, the drivers needing updates and just the general, management on the software installed and turning features or services on and off if you don't need them to, make the load on this machine less. So that's the main thing, which means I need to fiddle around with this a lot, which in if it was winter time, yeah, I do that during winter times. That's when I do BIOS updates. That's when I do major driver updates, because generally that's a time we're not out and about. We're not traveling. We're not going out, to picnics. We're not going out to parks, meeting families, because that's kind of just how winter has been for us for years, where we don't go out as much. Like, I think most people do that, right? For this one, I just don't have time to tinker and play around with this. I'm returning it. Maybe I'll revisit it again after maybe 1 to 2 months and see if the updates they need would just make my life easier as as a user. Then let's just go with the bad and then with the good, because it's not all bad. Actually, it's a pretty slick and pretty nice machine, especially if you don't mind the tinkering or the managing of a Windows operating system on a handheld device. Okay, so let's go with the bad. The fingerprint, right? So I think it's going to be the fourth time that I would have to redo my fingerprint again, because it looks like it forgot, right? It forgot my fingerprints. And that's kind of silly, especially if that was one of the features they were touting, right? I actually wish they just used they put in a camera here, like a camera here or somewhere here, basically, and then use the face recognition software. That probably would even be better, because I have a Surface that I've been using for work for a lot of years. I actually forgot when I bought it, maybe 5 years ago, and I have never had to update my face, like the scanner for the face recognition on that Surface machine. So I never had to redo that. I think I've only done it once, and then the second time when I did a reformat or something like that. But after that, that was it. So if this one, they could have removed this fingerprint scanner and then just maybe put a camera. You could use just the facial recognition, and you'd be good. And once they get that facial recognition thing set up there, that's it. It was pretty good. And then actually, if they had a camera here too, you could actually use this for office work. So we'll go to the good part on that piece, but let's just stick with the bad for now. So the fingerprint scanner thing, yeah, it's a miss. I mean, next time, if ever I get it, I'll probably remove any sign-in methods for it, just because just the hassle of it. I mean, you would have thought it'll be quick and easy, but it was more of a pain, that fingerprint thing. The second one, I bought this to play games, right? Obviously. So the main game I'm playing right now is Diablo 4. And when I was playing it here, it actually crashed maybe 3 or 4 times too while I was playing. The crashing part, I really wouldn't mind if it happened maybe once or twice, but it looks like it could be a driver issue, right? Because when I got Diablo 4, playing it on the PC, the initial version, I think it did crash on me during the launch before the newer updates, right? It crashed maybe twice, which was expected, right? So they launched, it was fairly new. They did fix it really quick. So I haven't had any issues with that on the PC, on my main PC, which has a 4090, and on my backup or my travel PC, which has a 6700 XT. So it looks like they got it all fixed, driver-wise from AMD, driver-wise from NVIDIA, and software-wise from the Diablo 4 Blizzard, right? From the Diablo 4 team. In this case, I remember it hung and crashed a couple of times when I was portaling somewhere. The software crashed, and then another one when I was just looking at the map and scrolling around the options on the map and it just hung up and then crashed, and then another one again during like I think a boss fight. Maybe it couldn't handle it, so it crashed a few times already. I really probably wouldn't really have cared if I didn't have a hardcore character. So I already completed Diablo 4 game, and I completed it on a softcore character, right? So if you die, you just get revived, then you move on, basically. But I do have a couple of hardcore characters I'm playing with. So if I was playing that and it crashed and I died because of just just the Asus ROG crashing, I would really be pissed, right? So if I die, I'd rather die because of my silliness, or like I fought some boss that I just couldn't handle. I would really be pissed if I was playing my hardcore character and suddenly I disconnected and then my character was just stuck somewhere and then just got killed. That's the second one. And then the third one is the updates, right? So when I got it, there was a lot of the updates on the firmware, the software, everything else. So, okay, that's just kind of a given on a Windows machine, right? They got the new firmware, software, whatever. It seems like it's just, it's basically not there yet, right? So I'd rather just return this, give them a couple of months. Let's see what happens. Check out the Steam Deck again. So that's why I think it's not a lot of it's not fully baked in. I don't mind small updates, but if you got a couple of firmware updates here and there and major updates on the on their tool, right, the Armory crate, it probably needs more looking into and testing. And right now, just because of the timing too, I'd rather not be doing updates. Let's say traveling next week or something like that, and then I have it, and then I just want to turn it on and play, and then there's a major update that I need to do to make sure it functions properly. That'll just be a headache, right? So I'd rather wait, have them figure everything out, get all of the software updates up and have it running and get it fixed. Then, I'll see in a month or two, maybe 3. I can wait, right? We can wait, right? So, and then get it again and see how it goes, basically. But it's not all bad. Let's go to the good. Once you have everything set up, basically I got the initial one, right? So when I got it, I got the firmware updates, I got all the software updates, the Microsoft updates, the driver, whatever driver updates. After all the updates, right? So of course I was able to put in games. I got the games installed, and then I was able to play a few hours on the couch, on the bed, and lunchtime at work, or after work, something like that. Just put in an hour here, which was perfect because I always had it on turbo, if it was plugged in or not. And turbo, playing Diablo 4, I think I was getting around an hour of gameplay or so. So you could get in a good hour at 1080p. If I remember right, I did modify the settings, right? So in Diablo 4 specifically, I had it FSR turned on. I was at, I think, balance, and then 1080p, of course. And then, yeah, I mean, when it was running, when it wasn't hanging, which, it didn't really hang all the time, right? So I was able to play like around an hour, in a boss fight or just hitting the dungeons and stuff like that. The controls, they're smooth, they're slick, it's pretty good. Portability was great. I mean, just throw it in my computer bag and just, when I had time, I'll pop it in. Or if I was just, if I was just on the couch watching something with the wife, play around while watching something that you're just fairly interested in, right? It's light, it's portable, it's not hot. It gets the back part, it's kind of warm, but since your fingers aren't really touching the hottest parts, I guess, because it's kind of on the side, I never felt like it was uncomfortably warm. But you will notice the heat, but it's not hot. So it's not even uncomfortably warm. It's just you'll feel the warmth there on the back, especially since I had it on turbo mode and I was just playing all out. The gameplay is good. The graphics is good. Portability, it's nice. It's light. It's it's not really heavy playing it, lugging it around and playing on it. And then since it's a Windows machine, this one, it might be good for other people because you could use this as your backup computer for an emergency. I used it to RDP to my work, and I was able to, because of course it's a Windows machine, right? Just need internet and software to use. So probably for quick emergency logging in to a machine, to a computer that you need to log into or to work, this might actually be beneficial. You could probably just bring a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard and those portable 15-inch monitors. then you could turn this also into your gaming and portable work machine. It actually could work like that. So that actually is an option if they get all the bugs worked out. Maybe when I travel and it might be tedious to bring my mini PC, I might actually try and do that. So there are good stuff here, and it's really up to your use case. For my use case, basically, I'd rather wait because I don't need it right now. I don't want the hassle of trying to getting drivers updated, waiting for drivers, waiting for firmware updates. I'll just wait for the fixes to be out. I'll keep my ears and eyes open for the updates that they're doing and the fixes that they have. And then I will maybe repurchase it in 2 or 3 months. So yeah, that's that. So this little guy is going back to Best Buy. Actually, just because of the work piece, that's why I thought of they should have just put in a camera somewhere here and used the facial recognition thing, and then you could use this for meetings too, for Zoom or Teams or whatever, right? Because I can wait. So, and if you can wait too, I suggest just waiting and making sure that all the drivers and the firmware is mature, and then reading up on any other fixes and or bugs that might pop up, right? So that's what I'll be doing. So yeah, hopefully if you have this and you're enjoying it, yeah, keep on enjoying it. And because yeah, I did enjoy it when I was not having any issues, when I was not having any disconnect or drop issues. If you have time and patience right now, I think you could just wait for driver updates and a lot of tinkering, which for me at this point of the year, I don't. So that's why I'm returning it, but I will revisit it in a couple of more months. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe. Have a good day. Bye now.